Hello and welcome to the Wiretap Whisper Podcast, episode 15, presented by me, Sammy ASMR. If this is the first time you're watching the podcast, this is a ASMR creator focused podcast series where I sit down with other ASMR artists in the space and I talk to them all about their channel, their personal life, and basically everything in between. We try to keep it chill, try to keep it soft spoken or whispered. This episode's going to be in soft spoken, so hopefully you don't mind that. And yeah, today I am joined for the first time on the podcast by a male creator, and today we are joined by completely casual ASMR, aka Mike.
Hey everybody, how are you?
So, for those of you guys who are watching who aren't familiar with Mike and his content, I have a quick summary for you. So, yeah, Mike is an American content creator on YouTube and Twitch. He has over 10,000 subscribers on YouTube and just under 80 videos. He's been uploading now for nearly a year and a half. And if I was to kind of summarize the style of ASMR that he goes for, like the genre and stuff like that, it's more personal attention role plays, specifically medical ones. And yeah, on the Twitch side of things, he has been on Twitch now for just under a year and he has 4,000 followers. And mainly on Twitch, it is, ASMR as well. But things like Pokemon pack openings is what you'll find on there. Now that's a boring summary from me and a quick one, and Mike's going to give a better one. So yeah, Mike, who are you today?
Well, today it's currently the day before my 34th birthday, so I'm almost 34. You know, um, I'm a married guy who likes to do content creation. I am a professional. I do have a full-time job, so content creation is a hobby, but it's something I love to do. And basically, I just try to be a good person every single day and bring a little joy to somebody out there. You know,
Yeah, and
but yeah, that's about who I am today.
yeah, if you guys follow Mike, you'll definitely see that he is those things across social media, and obviously, he works very hard with being a family man, doing his full time job, and all the YouTube and Twitch stuff as well. So we'll obviously dive into that and explore that during the podcast. Basically the way it's going to work is there's a past, a present, and a future section, and we're going to make our way, obviously starting with the past and moving towards the future. There'll be a bit of back and forth in between, but for the most part, that's the structure that we're going to go with today. So yeah, so before we dive into all the ASMR side of things, I wanted to talk to you just quickly about growing up. Were you kind of like were you like a city kid or more rural? And I guess like what type of kid were you growing up? Were you sporty,
Man.
geeky, getting into trouble?
So it's kind of a mix of everything. So I'm a Navy brat. Uh, so I grew up. My dad was in the military, and we didn't really move around because he was a submariner. So he was out, 6 to 8 months a year for a while.
Right.
I grew up, I guess you could say, like more like a rural suburb kind of thing in a very like old farm community kind of town.
Hmm.
I grew up in Connecticut. Boring, just boring. But where I grew up, like, yeah, like as a kid, like you played sports. So I played baseball for like 7 years, played basketball for 2 years, but I loved wrestling. And I got into wrestling when I was about seven.
Nice.
And I wrestled for oof, 9 years, something like that.
Hmm.
Had a little too many concussions after a while. I had
I
to
was
stop.
I was gonna say it must be like a high injury prone sport for sure.
And you break a thing or two here and there.
Yeah.
But I wrestled for a while. That was a big part of growing up for me. I was a nerdy kid though. I've
Hmm.
always been a nerd. Like I was a book nerd. I was addicted to reading books. Like
What are we talking?
I read The Hobbit for the first time in like third grade.
Wow.
I just fell in love with fantasy novels and then
Uh-huh.
just, after that was Terry Pratchett and just kept going, Brandon Sanderson and I just kept going. My dad's a big nerd too. I mean, for me, it was always books, video games, and then everything else. Like, I loved books and I loved video games, you know?
Yeah.
Used to play Doom on a joystick, Wing Commander on a joystick on,
Uh,
like, an old Apple II computer.
wow. So was that your like
Oh,
your
yeah.
first video game experience? Did you have like a first console? What was that?
My first console was probably an original Game Boy, which I still have. It's in a drawer over there.
Okay,
I
nice.
got that when I was 7, so 1993. No, 94.
Before I was even born.
Yeah, so it was 94.
Uh-huh.
We did have an N I did have an NES, but my parents were kinda weird about video games. They were very much like my mom's a teacher, and they were very much
Ah.
like, did not want us on a video game console. They had no problem with us playing computer games. I think it's just because my dad was a computer game nerd.
Mhm.
But, yeah, like, we didn't really have a console in the house until maybe in, like, '99. We got a GameCube for Christmas. Me and my brother got a GameCube for Christmas, yeah, in, like, '99. That's, like,
Classic.
our first console in the house, but
Yeah.
we had Game Boys. They were just weird about it.
Yeah, I feel like it's interesting you say about your dad kind of heavily influenced you. I think that was the same for me. He had a Sega Mega Drive with Sonic on,
Oh,
and that was my first experience. And I think yeah since he opened that world up to me, I don't think I've looked back since. So
oh, yeah.
um,
That's a trap door you fall down and you don't come back out of.
yeah, gamer for life. Um, so yeah, you've done all these sports, your baseball, your basketball, your wrestling and stuff. What did you do after high school? Did you go to college? Did you do a degree, anything like that?
Yeah, so I did go to college. My college plans changed up a little bit because one of the things, like in high school, I got really into running, like track, and I was actually pretty good.
Uh huh.
And I was like focusing on getting scholarships, and that was like my focus because I really wanted to run in college. Tore my quadricep apart, just destroyed it during a meet, and goodbye college running dreams. So I had to like refocus my stuff. And at the time, I was really into fitness and nutrition, like the science aspects of it and everything.
Hmm.
So I was like, I want to go to school for dietetics,
Yes.
the science and nutrition. So I went to school in Pennsylvania, but it wasn't a good fit. So I ended up transferring to another college, and then I was like, I don't want to be a dietitian. I want to be a writer. So I got an English degree
Oh my gosh,
instead, and I
the
still managed to
U-turn.
finish college in 4 years, even with the transferring and losing credits. But it took a lot of like, I did like summer classes. I did winter break classes. I was basically was just in class for like 3 years straight, trying to graduate on time.
Hmm.
They didn't want to do a fifth year on a degree, but then I graduated in 2009, so I should have probably hung out in college a little while longer because it wasn't really fun in the job
Yeah.
job market back then.
Wow. So you
Yeah,
went,
it was a little
yeah, you went from
rough.
like doing sports to nutrition to writing and stuff. That's
Yeah, I mean, I've always kind of written. I think that kind of comes with being a nerd. I think every nerd growing up goes, "I want to write a great fantasy novel at some point."
yeah. It's like you get this creative itch, like your imagination's just like constantly running wild. Like let me
It
scratch it.
never stops.
Yeah.
It never stops. It drives me. I mean, I have ADHD. I don't have a problem talking about. I was diagnosed at 10 years old. Dealt with it for over 20 years of my life.
Hmm.
I mean, I'm no expert in managing it or anything like that, but I think it should be talked about and stuff. But like one of the things with ADHD is you can't ever focus on one thing, and my brain is always in the clouds, like
Yeah.
always in the clouds. I'm always thinking of some new idea. I planned on taking this weekend off from filming, and I thought of an idea 3 days ago. I can't get out of my head, so I'm filming the thing.
I love
Like I
that
don't
though.
care.
Yeah.
Like it's got to get done. I got to get it out of my brain because if I don't get it onto camera or I don't get it onto paper, it's gonna be gone forever.
Yeah. No, I like that. So, you've done a lot of different things. What field of work are you currently involved with, like at the minute, with the full time
So I
stuff?
currently work in the scientific sales field. But, I don't get too much into my work detail,
Yeah.
but basically a professional salesperson.
Okay.
That's
So
basically it.
you've had your fingers in a lot of different pies, then, as they say. You
I've done
got
a lot of work. Like,
yeah.
I mean, I would give you the rundown. After college, I went back to doing asphalt work, which I did during the summer. During college, I also interned at a major pharmaceutical company for 2 summers. Um, After the asphalt job, because that was a temp summer thing when I graduated, I went to working in a marina and like literally hauling boats out of the water.
Oh my God.
scraping off barnacles, power washing boats, putting boats on blocks, shrink wrapping boats for the winter, like
Yeah.
all that kind of storage stuff. And then I got my first professional job in like the corporate America.
hmm the classic 9 to 5. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But I feel like all them experiences have probably like helped you grow, as a person, all these different skills, different social interactions with each one. Like I feel like,
Yeah, you learn a lot.
hmm
You learn a lot.
so,
What you I
hold on.
think, like, for me, like, the most important thing was to stop you learn how to stop caring about anything that other people think or
Hmm.
say about anything because it doesn't matter, you know? And really, like, my job experience helped me focus on, like, my own happiness and those around me in my immediate vicinity, you know? That's why I don't get, like, pressed, like, if I get shitty comments online. Like,
Yeah.
I don't care.
You're used to it. Yeah. You've got
Yeah,
this, you
you
got
can't
this
phase
boundary.
me with that kinda stuff.
Yeah. So the big question is, how did you come across ASMR? What was that first experience like? And I always try to ask the creators that I get on, can you remember like a first video that you actually watched that was ASMR, and who
Oh, I know the first video I ever
and
watched,
who that was? Yeah.
that was Heather Feather's cranial nerve exam,
Okay. Well.
and that was back in, like, 2012, 2013, somewhere
Hmm.
around there,
How did that come
back
about?
then. Um, I am a very bad sleeper.
Hmm.
I always have been. Like, I've literally been running on 4 to 5 hours of sleep my entire life. It's shit,
Yeah.
pardon my French, like, it sucks,
Hmm.
but it is what it is. It's just I don't know, and I can't do sleeping pills. I've been through that whole route with doctors and stuff. It's bad for me. I don't like doing it. Um, so I was up one night. It was like 2 a.m. and I was wide awake and sitting in this office actually. I couldn't sleep. And I was like just desperately Googling like ways to help you fall asleep. And I
Yeah.
ran across some obscure article on ASMR. So I went to YouTube and I just typed it in. I think I typed in like relaxing sounds or something like
Hmm.
that. And I ran across this Heather Feather video and it had so many views and I was like, oh, so many people watched it. It must work or something. So
Yeah.
I was out 5 minutes, done, gone, passed out. And I think I've watched ASMR almost every single night since. I mean, give or take, nights here and there. But
Yeah. It's crazy how like all these little different like threads came together for you to watch that first video and obviously get to where you are now. And we'll explore that more. The next question I normally ask is, like, what made you stay for more? Obviously, I think that's obvious in this case. It's you found something that finally, uh,
sleep.
yeah, was helping you sleep, and it was a bit healthier than tablets and stuff like that. So,
Oh yeah. No, seriously, it was the sleep thing. And it wasn't like it wasn't just the fact that like it would help me fall asleep like sooner and earlier.
mhm,
Cause like I'm on I could go to bed at 10 o'clock at night and I'll just lay there until 2 in the morning
yeah,
and won't fall asleep. Not looking at my phone. I can just like literally lay there, won't fall asleep. But ASMR, I can go there, lay in my bed, watch a video out in 5, 10 minutes. And
mhm,
so I'm sleeping longer, I'm sleeping better. So it was just better for me.
yeah,
And then I just started finding more artists that I just truly enjoyed watching.
mhm,
I remember the first time I found Zeitgeist and I was like, holy
yeah.
crap, you know,
This guy, this guy's amazing. He's like, I think I said once, he's like the Willy Wonka of ASMR, like the way he
he's a genius.
constructs things and all that. Yeah.
He's brilliant. I mean, he's brilliant.
Yeah.
Because and I am not a person that like if I'm watching a ASMR video, I prefer like role play type videos, things like that.
Hmm.
I don't normally go for like straight triggers. There's very few artists that I watch. I appreciate what all artists do
Yeah.
because it takes a lot to do a straight trigger video because that crap is boring to film.
Yeah.
It
Tell me
is.
about
I'm
it.
sorry.
It's
You
mainly
get like for me, I my mind starts wandering. I could sit there with my 3DO and two of the fluffy ear picks for like 5 minutes, and I'm just like looking around.
okay.
So it takes a lot to film one of those, and I
Hmm.
really respect it. But Zeitgeist is one of the few ASMRs that do trigger videos that I like can watch and fall asleep.
Really well. Yeah. It's a whole
It just constructs
performance.
a soundscape
Hmm.
like
Yeah.
it's insane. So good.
Yeah. I feel like him and Atlas are probably like right up there for like production value, right?
Oh yeah,
Hmm.
definitely. I mean, but you're talking two very different ASMR styles,
Right,
though,
definitely
in
different styles.
general.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because I feel like the cinematic ASMR community, I mean, that's amazing. Those guys have so much talent. Like
Hmm.
every creator in that space just has so much talent when it comes to editing and filming. And like, I mean, there's a lot of gear you need to be able to have to accomplish certain levels of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think that's a segment of the community. Like, it's really cool, but it's a very specific type of ASMR.
Hmm.
So, like, for me personally, I love watching cinematic ASMR.
Yeah.
Wicked cool to watch. Don't get tingles from it though.
No. Yeah.
I think it's really cool, but like I don't get tingles from it personally.
Yeah, I feel like that's the. I mean, that's the one of the best things about the space is it's horses for courses, right? You go from cinematic ASMR all the way to lo-fi stuff where it's just some person
Yeah.
with a phone, no mic, no crazy visuals, anything like that. And
Oh yeah.
it's I love it.
I mean, lo-fi, I love some old school lo-fi.
Hmm.
Like you give me like old school darling,
Oh yeah.
like when she was just on her iPhone
Uh-huh.
with like she had great videos. Even like Lottie loves old videos.
Hmm.
Lottie's great. Like I love her stuff. She does fantastic work.
Another UK
Um
creator. Yeah.
Oh, I love the UK creators, I'm not gonna lie, I'm like, I definitely lean towards the UK creators myself personally.
Yeah.
That's just me. Well, it might be the accent, I don't know.
The accent.
It's
Yeah.
very relaxing.
I
I mean,
feel.
I like so many creators though. I mean, my ASMR list on my personal YouTube account,
Hmm.
it's over 1,000 creators.
Yeah. Do you have YouTube Premium as well?
No, I
You
don't
don't.
actually.
Oh wow.
I don't have YouTube Premium. I think I have every other premium service
Premium
you could
thing.
probably want entertainment-wise, but not YouTube and not Spotify.
Not Spotify. Yeah.
No, because 'cause I'm weird with music. Like, I'm not weird, but, like, I don't I have to, like, feel the music that I'm listening to. It's a very weird thing
Mhm.
for me. I don't know what it is. Like, I can't just sit there and listen to the radio and listen to, like, random songs come through. Like, it doesn't work. Like,
No,
I don't know how to explain it.
you need to
But I
vibe
grew
to
up
it.
playing music too. I didn't tell you that.
Oh my gosh,
I
another
started playing the
talent.
drums when I was 7. So I played in like, did concert band, I did marching band, did a little
Mhm.
drum and bugle, I played in a competitive jazz band for a while until
Wow.
I stopped drumming. But yeah, so like I like love music. Like and I love all types of music. Like
Mhm.
I love everything from like show tunes to like hardcore metal, but I'm also a product of being a teenager in the early 2000s, so emo holds a very
Oh
special
yeah,
place in my heart.
same. Yeah. I always say like 2006 to 2009 pop punk is my go-to.
Oh yeah. Hands
Um,
down. I mean, if you put on Modest Mouse, you're probably my best friend, you
yeah.
know?
I was into like Breaking Benjamin,
Oh, me too,
who
big time.
Hoobastank and stuff like that.
I love Breaking Benjamin.
Yeah,
There's
so
no
good.
shame in it.
They're so
There's no
good.
shame in it. I mean, have you ever heard Diary of Jane, like acoustic?
Oh, yeah, I think I have, yeah.
That's probably one of the best acoustic songs I've ever heard in my life, like
Mhm.
hands down.
Yeah.
I'm a
No.
big Coheed fan. Like Coheed and Cambria is my favorite band of all time.
Nice. Yeah.
Like I even put them above Queen, and I've been listening to Queen since I was like 2. And I
Uh,
love Freddie Mercury, God on earth, but yeah, I don't know, Coheed is just like it just gets me.
yeah. I think,
Favorite band.
I think my parents growing up, one was like a literal like punk rocker in like a local punk band, and then the other one was also the same, but she kind of more veered off into like pop music, like ABBA and stuff like that. So I think like listening to both, because as a kid you were like you had to suffer what they put on the car.
Oh,
So I'd
yeah.
have like ABBA, and there's like a UK band called Take That on one side, and then I'd have like Green Day and Rancid and stuff on the other. And I think like they just came together, both the styles, and that's why I like pop punk. Literally.
Hey, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, mine was, my mom leaned towards, like, the oldies, like 60s and 70s and stuff,
Okay.
even 50s at the time, because, I mean, we're talking, car rides in the early 90s, so yeah, the 50s, for oldies.
Uh huh.
Um, my dad was country music, but then my mom would whip out, like Aerosmith or Zeppelin,
Yeah.
and we'd be, like, going down in the car, like, listening to the Immigrant Song on the way to school or something, like
Wow.
and I just, like, I don't know, I always lean towards, like, heavy rock, metal. I don't know why, I just did as a kid, I just loved it. I think it was because of the beats and the percussion, like, I was just, like,
Mhm.
really into, like, the heavy stuff.
Yeah.
And then as I got older, it, like, progressed into the more, like, more the punk, the emo,
Yeah.
pretty much anything. If you put a good guitar riff in a song, I will probably like it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's how I look at music.
I feel like we could talk about music all day long. I think
Mhm.
music does just as much for me as ASMR does. But yeah, so you kind of got lost in an ASMR rabbit hole, if you will.
Oh, yeah.
You found your thing. What then made you? What gave you the motivation to start your own channel?
Um,
Because
I think about that all the time.
I realized actually you started your channel April last year, right? So
Yeah.
right at the start of the pandemic, I'm guessing I called it the pandemic push. It was like the push everyone needed who was like on the edge of starting their own channels. It was like the push they needed to actually start.
It definitely was for me. I definitely will say, like, the pandemic, like, push definitely happened, but, I had actually been thinking about doing it for a couple of years
Hmm.
because I don't really I work a lot, like, my professional job. I don't really have a creative outlet for anything.
Right.
And I'd been thinking about doing it for a long time, but, like, my thing was, like, I don't know anything about filming, I don't know anything about editing, I don't think about anything. I was like, and I'm driving all the time for work, and I'm tired all the time, like, when the pandemic happened, and my job didn't really change, I just stopped traveling,
Hmm.
so I just happened to be home more,
Yeah.
and I just had a lot less time because 'cause I'm not commuting so much, so it was like I wasn't exhausted at 5 o'clock in the afternoon,
Hmm.
you know? And at one point, I was just like, "Man, I have more free time at night. I have more free time on the weekends because, like, I just work is just not as busy." I was like, "I'm gonna do something." So I finally just bit the bullet and just started it.
You went for it. Yeah.
Just went for it. Now I should have thought it through more and done some more research and actually figured out what the hell SEO was, and maybe watched more tutorials on a million things. But
Yeah.
I learned by doing. I don't read instructions.
Yeah. Um, I know what you're talking about, like with the planning and stuff. Because I'm like, I don't have OCD or anything like that, but I'm a bit of a perfectionist, so I'll try to do as much as I can, like pre the thing I'm doing, and then yeah, like the SEO stuff, like you said. So did you have any like early expectations going in? Was it kind of just like, okay, I really want to do this, I'm just going to do it for fun, or did you kind of say, okay, like you know, I,
I
I,
overthought the entire process in
okay,
the wrong way. I will tell you that. I literally built a PVC pipe frame to put around my filming space and drape with weighted blankets to dampen noise
oh my gosh,
because I did not know you could just do noise reduction off a sound clip in an editing program.
mm-hmm, yeah,
I literally knew nothing about any kind of audio or video recording
yeah,
prior to this channel.
mm-hmm,
Like, literally nothing. It was complete trial by fire by my own doing because I should have stubborn. And I was like, I'll figure it out. So I went about everything completely wrong right off the bat.
yeah,
And then when I finally got my feet under me, I guess, a little bit, and I met some people and they were like, they offered helpful criticism on like why things weren't working a certain way or things like that.
mm-hmm,
And then it was just more like learning and researching it better quality and what works and then figuring out YouTube, which is, you can't figure out
no,
YouTube.
no, even
There's no
YouTube can't
figuring
figure out
out
YouTube.
YouTube. It's an algorithm that I don't understand and never will. I was turned on to another YouTube channel about growth by another creator, and I watched a lot of their videos, and I've used a lot of the tips from their videos, and I definitely can say I've seen way more growth. I've been doing it since about January,
Hmm.
using the tips from that video, and I've seen a lot more growth since January.
Yeah,
But like expectation wise, like I didn't come into this thinking I was gonna make a channel and have 100,000 subscribers in a year or whatever.
mm-hmm,
I knew what I had an idea of what I was up against,
yeah,
in terms of like and I don't like to call it being competitive, but I mean, it is. I mean, YouTube is a competitive space, no matter which way you look at it. I love the ASMR community. I love how, like, united it is about around a lot of things. But nobody likes to talk about the hard stuff with the business side of things.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of people use YouTube as their business, as their life. They wanna be competitive. That's why people get mad when you copy their original content.
Hmm.
That's why people don't wanna share how they grow.
I've
Because, yeah, they
yeah.
may like you as a person, but they still want their video to do better than yours.
Hmm.
And that's not a bad thing. That's a very normal thing for people, especially creators, to feel like you make a video, you want people to watch your video,
It's just it's just
you know?
it's just business in real life, isn't it? At the end
Yeah,
of the day, it's just that's how it
yeah,
works. There's
it's
always
not a
going to be
personal
competition.
thing,
Yeah.
and I see that a lot in the community, and I love the community, but it's like, yeah, I agree, people, like, build each other up, and that's great, but it's like,
Hmm.
they're gonna push towards their own content first, that's just what it is? People are g you make a video, you want people to watch it.
Yeah.
That's just what it is at the end of the day, and
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong with that.
I,
But there's billions of people on the planet, there's space for everyone. That's the other thing,
yeah, it's true.
you
Um,
know?
and I've seen some creators going back and forth at it, in terms of the stuff you're
Oh,
just talking about. It happens. It does.
I just there's no original ideas left in the world anyway. I mean, look at the film industry.
Yeah.
We've literally been making comic book movies for the past 30 years because no one can write anything original. So, I mean,
Yeah.
it's there's no I mean, it even goes back to writing, right? You have your basic tenets of like 5 major story arcs you can actually have in any it's the same thing with any kind of ASMR video. It's okay, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, Maria is not getting mad when people are doing, military themed medical plays. She did like the first
The
one
first
back in
one.
like what, 2014?
Hmm.
And that's still such an amazing video. I don't care what anyone says. That video is fantastic.
Yeah, I think yeah, there's always going to be crossover, but I think like the beauty of
Oh,
it
yeah,
is if you can apply your own personality to a video, then just by doing that, you're making it unique. I feel like
100%.
if you have watched a video and thought this is a good idea, I think it's always good to just say, oh, this video was inspired by such and such, and leave a link if you want to do that. I would do that personally, but that's just who I am. Um,
It's funny because like Amy K.
I do. Yeah, Amy K's been on the
Amazing.
podcast.
Yeah, Amy is awesome. And I talked with Amy and I think it was like a week ago. Yeah, it was last week actually. Um, I upload on Tuesdays, and I had saw that Oopsie Daisy and Amy, I think it was ASMR Planet as well, or maybe Daisy. I can't remember. I can't remember. They were doing a collab video, like a vampire, like a collab video,
Uh-huh.
and I had just filmed a vampire doctor video and was putting it out that afternoon. Like it was scheduled to go out, and I messaged her. I was, I hope you don't think I was just trying to
Just
copy you.
yeah, yeah. That
I mean,
happens
but it
all the
happens.
time. Yeah.
And you know what? ASMR trends. If you go back and you look at like if you just pay attention and log into YouTube once a day and look at your subscriptions, right? You're gonna see trends in ASMR. So like for the past like 4 months, medical has been really, really big, right?
Mhm.
So what you can have the medical trend, and then we're gonna see a little vampire, and then we're gonna see more shave vids. Okay, and then you're gonna see the massage vids back, and then it goes right back to medical. It's the same thing every year.
Mhm.
It's funny, but that's because it works, and
Yeah.
that's what people like, and
Yeah.
that's fine. I mean, I like all 3 of those, so I don't complain. I'm like, "Okay, cool."
I guess when you were starting out the channel, did you have any inspirations like inside the community? Like I guess did you look at certain creators and think, oh, I like what they're doing. I want to apply some of that to myself. And then I guess also,
I
did you have anyone outside the community, maybe friends, family that were kind of pushing you to do it as well?
So no one in my personal life even knows I have an ASMR channel, except my wife,
I'm gonna say I was gonna say hopefully your wife knows.
and, like, maybe, like, 2 of her friends
Hmm.
maybe know, because I think they caught it on my Instagram before I disconnected my personal my Instagrams were connected, and I was like, "Oops." So those are all disconnected because I keep my personal life and my ASMR, like, separate,
Hmm.
mainly because And the majority of the people in my life probably would not understand ASMR, nor would I think they take the time to try to. So it's a lot easier just to not deal with that
Yeah.
and getting into the whole stigmatization of ASMR in general.
Yeah, I've had that a couple of times.
Yeah, it's dumb, but like you you can't teach people who aren't willing to learn, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. No,
Doesn't work.
you've got to pick your battles with that one.
So, but like inspiration wise, that was the one thing. I was like, I came into doing ASMR and I was like, I want to find my own thing.
Hmm.
Like, let me try doing ASMR like the way like ASMR and the way I want to do it.
I feel like that's the best way.
Because ASMR is this really subjective experience. Like, and I'm not gonna go in there, copy Fred's voice with his classic, mic full on display, and he moves around the microphone.
Yeah.
He is the
He,
space, or JoJo, super up close, on the Yeti, doing all the sounds.
hmm.
Or Zeitgeist, who does a lot of up close zoom in shots on the microphone itself.
Hmm.
Or taking what is like a head wreck mic and dunking it in a tank of water because I don't know, he just does crazy stuff and I love it. Um,
He just.
but I didn't want to. One, I didn't know how they did that shit, and two, I didn't want to copy the popular guys
Hmm.
on ASMR, but I also didn't want to like try to copy the popular women's style either on ASMR. I didn't want to come into the space and be like, I want to be like you by doing what you do. I just like more like I want to be like you guys and bring people, relaxation and peace and sleep, but I want
Right.
to do it
And do it your
my
way.
way that I figure out.
Hmm.
But that has taken a long time to figure out
Yeah.
before like I actually build up any kind of like momentum in an audience and like I honestly spent like probably the first 8 months. I almost killed my channel. I was like, it's not growing, it's not going anywhere. This was fun, but maybe this was just a fun experiment.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
because it's tough.
who did I have on? I think I had someone, might have been Carol ASMR. And I think her channel's like 3 years old, something like that. And I think when I was like looking at her stats and stuff, I think it took her like a good year and a half to find her feet. I remember talking to her about it. And she's just, I think she's just about to hit 100K now. So
Oh
obviously
yeah,
obviously doing really
Carol
well.
makes great stuff too.
Yeah. I think she found her footing with more Spanish and Argentinian audiences. And she's doing great things.
Yeah.
Um,
She makes great content, and people like that. I mean, I wish I spoke another language, to be honest, because I think doing ASMR in another language would be fantastic, but I've taken over 8 years of Spanish and none of it is stuck in my head. So
mhm,
I just don't think I'm one of those people that learns another language easily.
yeah. The last thing on this section, I guess, is you do YouTube, you do Twitch, you got your family, you got your job. Is it hard to balance all of that? Like, do you have? I mean, that I didn't even include like personal time in there. Maybe you don't know what that is.
Um, Scheduling. It's all about scheduling. So, I work like 8 to 5 every day, Monday through Friday. I
Hmm.
don't do any creative stuff during I'm working. It's my job. I will say like when it comes to ASMR, my life and job, like I prioritize my job over ASMR.
Yeah.
I have to,
Yeah.
you know. But but that's the beauty of YouTube, right? You can schedule all your videos.
Hmm.
Like I schedule my videos are always scheduled. Like I'm
Same.
not actively there posting my videos. Like I let the robots do it.
Hmm.
Um, but it's like I get off at 5. Thankfully, I do work from home, so it makes life a little bit easier,
Yeah.
from that respect. I try to spend some time with my wife before stream. I stream 3 nights a week. I don't start till 7:30 Eastern. So it's usually like 7:30 to 10:30.
Hmm.
Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. So Tuesdays and Thursdays, I have time to spend with my wife. Saturdays, time during the day, Sunday. But it is tough. I usually film on Saturday nights after my wife goes to bed. So I usually don't even start 9:30, 10 o'clock
Hmm.
at night. And then depending how much I'm doing, sometimes I'll film until 1, 2 in the morning,
Jeez,
stay up,
it's a grind.
transferring audio files. And my thing is like when I start something, I have to keep doing, or I end up what I did this week where I procrastinated, and now I have a really awesome video that's just sitting in like halfway edited, and it's not even close to being done.
Hmm.
But I'm gonna end up filming another video tonight, which I probably will finish edit and have uploaded for Tuesday. But this one will not be done because that's just who I am as a person.
Yeah.
But like it takes, I definitely sacrifice a lot of personal time.
Hmm.
You know, um, it's just it's balancing, and sometimes you just gotta say no to one thing and to do another.
Yeah.
So like for this week, like I wanted to get that video done. I'm not gonna get it done.
No, you've
I'm gonna film
prioritized
something
other
else
things.
instead.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, I will say one of the things, especially content creators, is like I don't do this full time. You know, no way. This is for myself. But like, I can see burnout so easily doing content creation
Hmm.
because you really don't have a lot of personal time. And even when you have personal time, you're still on your social media, you're still on YouTube, you're checking your comments, or you have a Discord because you have a community.
Hmm.
Like you're still on. And you're always accessible to someone 24/7 unless you physically put your phone down, turn your computer off, and walk away from it.
Yeah. It's hard.
So it's kind of like I don't know. I find I divide my life. There's content creator Mike, and then there's you know
Yeah.
Mike has to be an adult.
Yeah. Uh,
Obviously, I'm not a big fan of that one.
we never will be. Um,
Nah,
I guess that kind of wraps up the past stuff. Moving on to the present stuff, kind of present, semi past as well. So for this section, I kind of like to go on the channel and kind of put things under a microscope, look at some stats, even though you know a lot of the time we like
I'll
to
go for it.
not do that. Um, so I go all the way back to the beginning, first video. And your first video was ASMR barbershop trim and shave. What are your thoughts?
Technically, not my first video.
Huh?
Technically, not my first video.
Oh, so so what I was gonna
I
say was
deleted a couple of my early
uh
videos because they were really bad,
really cringe. Okay.
and I really hated looking at them.
Okay. Well, that's funny you should say that because I was gonna say like what your thoughts on that video because some people do tend to cringe and they do delete their first videos for them reasons.
That barbershop one, I don't think it's bad.
No.
I don't think it's good,
Mm.
but I don't think it's bad either.
What happened with the dimensions in that video? Because the
Oh, I suck at editing. That's really what it was. I
it's
suck at editing, and you know what? I was filming off my iPhone
okay.
at the time, my old iPhone. I think that was an iPhone 8,
Mhm.
but I knew nothing about lighting, nothing about filming. Like,
Yeah.
I don't even do, like, Instagram. Yeah. Like, the whole, like, everyone learning how their phone cameras worked happened, like, I was already in co I mean, I was when I was in college, most like, the iPhone, like, had just come out. Like, that was a new thing.
Yeah.
So, like, I grew up around the BlackBerries and stuff like that, so I
Blackberries.
knew nothing
Throwback.
about filming stuff. So, like, my old stuff, yeah, aspect ratios are whacked and angles look weird, and it's kinda weird stuff
Yeah.
sometimes that pops in there. And I was using, like, free film editing software too.
Mhm.
Like, I was using Filmora, and I don't know I didn't know anything about it.
It's a steep learning curve.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. I still look at my videos. I'm like, I don't know how to edit anything.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm like that. It's kind of like just, fake it till you make it, you know what I mean? It's
For
that
real,
age old
like, I
saying.
pick up little things. I mean, thank God for people like Bearded Audio, like Ian for, like, answering my audio problem questions because, like, more than once I have recorded a video and there's something horrifically wrong with the audio, and I'm, "Please fix this." Like, I really don't wanna do that again,
Yeah.
you know?
I th
But yeah.
I feel like I think I read some of the comments in that video, and I kind of got the vibe that you done that video because it was something that you liked personally, like going to the barber and getting a shave and stuff
Yeah,
like
I
that?
love going to the barber, even
S-
though I'm bald. That's my choice.
So, it
That's
was
my
easy.
choice.
It was easy for you to like apply that role play, I guess, because you kind of you knew the ins and outs of it and the um what's the word I'm looking for? Um
Like the barber techniques and stuff like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
The
I
nuances. That's the word.
yeah, that's something I've always been like in my life is like I am unobservantly observant. So when I'm in a space, like I don't necessarily always pay attention to what maybe is the most interesting thing in a space. I pay attention to everything around me. I always have. It's just like a natural thing. I just pick up stuff around me. So like when I'm in a barber shop, I notice like nuances of like how they move and how like, how certain way they use a clipper or the certain way they angle their things like that, the little things.
Hmm.
But for me, like, you put those little things in an ASMR video, and I really feel like it elevates, the video just a little bit more.
I think, yeah, yeah, for sure. And the next thing I want to talk about, and obviously these are real time views, right? I can't go back and I probably can somewhere, but I can't go back and look at what the views were in the first week. So this is the second video, and again, you might have deleted more videos between the first and the second one that are on there. But it's a cranial nerve exam with 11,000 views, and I wrote obviously because I presumed that might have been your first video, and I was like, oh, well, 11,000 views on the second video is kind of a lot, right?
Yeah,
I don't think
no,
yeah, and obviously
it wasn't.
that'll have grown over time. Yeah.
Yeah, that's been the majority of my views is they grow over time
Hmm.
kinda thing.
Yeah. Did you like? I'm guessing going into like filming that video, because I'm guessing that was your first one. Did you know they were already like popular in the community?
Oh,
Did,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, I mean, the medical role plays are, like, some of my favorite ones. So, like, I knew the medical plays were the thing, that people like. I mean, all you have to do is go on YouTube and search up, like, ASMR video and sort it by, like, most popular.
Yeah.
And once you get past, like, the Korean channels and, like,
It's
the
the
food,
mukbangs.
the mukbangs,
Honestly,
not my style. I mean,
no,
power to them, but not my thing.
I can't watch that.
Me neither. Me neither. But once you pass the mukbang, then you're into medical ASMR.
Hmm.
And then you see, like, those are really the hugely popular ones, stuff like that. And I've always liked the cranial nerve exam ones. And it's probably because that was, like, the first one that I ever got, like, the tingles from and everything. So,
Right.
yeah, I figured go for that.
You've always just resonated with it. Yeah.
Yeah, it just worked for me.
I think after that, like I think you kind of touched on it before. You basically you experimented. I think is the right word with the content.
Yeah.
There's a lot of variety early on when I was like looking and stuff. But obviously, it was clear to me that the more personal attention role play videos that you were doing, especially the medical ones, like
Yeah,
were doing much better. And I'm guessing you felt that as well.
yeah, and then I was turned on to that other person's YouTube. I can't remember her name. It's gonna drive me nuts. The other person's YouTube because like she has a very good channel like about growth and like she gives you very good advice on how to do it. Um, but I learned about like channel authority during from her videos,
Hmm.
which basically is like you do a very similar type of video week over week over week,
Yeah.
and YouTube's algorithm recognizes that this is video, and their algorithm pushes that type of video with the other videos out there that are similar to that, and it actually gives your channel something called channel authority. Just basically establishes your channel as this type of channel.
Yes.
And I think that's tough to establish in the ASMR world because, like, do I enjoy doing medical role plays? Yes.
I know what you're gonna
I
say.
love doing the more fantasy based role plays, though. I love the way, but like, I put that up and it doesn't get views because YouTube won't push it. I put a medical video up and YouTube's like, up here you go.
Yeah.
And they're just like, there you go.
Hmm.
So it's tough and it definitely influences like how you do content.
Yeah.
Like, I wrote down pretty much a plan for a video because I only do 1 video a week, that's all I have time for. I tried doing 2 videos a week for a long time, and it just stressed me out way too much,
Couldn't do it. Yeah.
putting extra deadlines on myself. Um, but I already sat down and I, like, planned out a couple weeks ago, like, the rest of my year video-wise. I mean, not all the ideas are developed, I mean, it might just be 1 word for 1 week, and I'll
Yeah.
work off that or whatever, but and I planned it out, and it's gonna be like, okay, well, it's gonna be this type, and then medical, 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 this type, medical, medical, medical. It's like I have to like keep doing the medicals, and I can sprinkle in
Every so
some of the
often,
creative
yeah.
stuff,
I
but
think
like I
that's the
can't
perfect
just do
ratio.
like ooh, fantasy, fantasy, fantasy,
No.
fantasy, because my channel will just die,
Mhm. Yeah.
and it's kind of a bummer. Not gonna lie.
It does suck. Yeah. 'Cause I think as humans, we just wanna keep doing different things just to keep it fresh, but you just
Oh
can't.
yeah.
You can't do it.
Oh, like I have an old video on there. My Dream Thief video. It's a good video.
I think I seen the one you're talking about.
That's a good video. The Dream Thief 2 is might be a little bit better. Trigger wise, that one might be a little bit better. Oh, and then my Only Hands video. That was like that's like if you weren't into visual ASMR, that video is for you. Especially if you like hand movement ASMR
Uh-huh. The
because it's only hands.
the name works as
Oh,
well.
it was a nightmare to edit. That video was like hell to edit. It was horrific.
No,
Probably because I did it the wrong way, but still, it was horrific. But it's a good video. Like I really like the
you like
video.
it, yeah.
But I have a lot of old videos that like I really like, and I think they're actually good videos. And like the comments reflect that. It's just they never got pushed.
Mhm.
But it is what it is, you know. I
Yeah.
I, I leave them there because it's like I personally will go through if I especially if I find like an ASMR artist I've never watched before,
Mhm.
I will definitely dig into their whole catalog,
Yeah?
and like, you find gems like in there. My favorites list is like there's definitely videos on my favorites list that like no one's ever seen before because they're just but they were buried deep, but they're so
So
good.
good. Just please don't remove this. um, and I think like I mean you had some like I think you had some good like early success, right? You had a chiropractor video that had 14,000 views. You done an audio test
Yes.
role play,
Yeah.
19,000 views. Annual physical exam, and that one has 11,000. All within 6 months of starting the channel, which I think is really good. Um, I get the next question was are medical videos your favorites to film? And I think we've already touched on that. It's kind of like they're getting repetitive for you at this
I
point. It's probably
don't mind filming them.
mhm,
Like I'm doing one this weekend that I've never done before in terms of a medical video, and it's gonna incorporate like a ton of different medical triggers. And it's a different it's not even I wouldn't say it's a different style, it's just a different scenario.
yeah,
The one that I actually was basically gifted this scenario, so it's awesome. They another creator told me about, they're like, "You should do this," and I was like, "Alright, I'm gonna do that."
it's a great idea.
Um,
Yeah,
yeah, it's like it's a fantastic idea, and I'm gonna add a little more elements to it, and it's gonna be really cool. So then I'm actually pretty excited to film, but, like, sitting down, like, right now at this moment, like, if you were like, "Oh, you gotta go film, like, another eye exam or an ear exam," I would just be like, "Fine." And it's just like I feel like people are gonna get bored with my content if I keep doing that. But it's kind of a catch-22 because you're caught between like
yeah,
I do this content because it performs well on my channel, which makes YouTube push it, which brings more people to view my channel, which gives me more subscribers. So it's like you think about the growth, but then you think about the people that watch you
uh huh.
on YouTube, right? And you're like, I don't want my audience to feel bored because I'm just giving them the same thing over and over and over. So it's like trying to find that balance of like,
I know what you mean.
what's gonna make me grow, but what's gonna keep it fresh?
Yeah,
But you have to stay within your lane, or YouTube doesn't like to push it, kind of thing. It's a hard balance.
yeah. Like, I think for most channels, it's like a 50-50 split between if you look at analytics for a video, it's like okay, 50% of these were subscribers, 50% were non-subscribers, and it's that
Oh god, I don't look at those analytics anymore. They're depressing.
it's that yeah, no, I don't really, but it's that you've got like a core audience, right, that basically watches every single video that you'll upload, and
Yeah.
it's like you say, you've got to keep them entertained, but obviously you've got to appeal to these non-subscribers who aren't invested in you, that are gonna see it because of the algorithm. So it's just that balance. I think everything in life is,
Yeah.
is balance. It's just-
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, my core audience. Sorry about that. That was
I couldn't hear
some of
anything.
the
You're good.
motorcycles. Like my core audience, like I still see the same people commenting on my video. that I saw, like, in the beginning,
Yeah.
and to me, that's, like, a
It's
really nice thing
it's
to see.
fulfilling for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, so I always try to keep, my core audience in mind, um, when it comes to that kinda stuff, because they're the ones that have been here and, like, been watching, they're the ones who contribute
Hmm.
statistics and everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's a balance. I mean, I have a Star Wars video I wanna film so bad, and it is going to be so freaking cool, but it's going to not do well.
Ah, no. Why not?
No,
It might.
it's not. No, I know it won't do well, and I know it, and that's okay. Like, I'm okay with that, but, like, I mentally have to base where I'm gonna commit to actually filming this because it is going to take a long time to edit, and I have to film at least 3 different videos to make it.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's like,
That's a big
yeah,
one.
it's a very involved idea, but I've had it scripted out for, like, 4 months. The idea's been in my head for, like, 6 months, so but I had to have a prop built for it, like, a custom prop was
Oh
built and
shit.
everything, so, like, I'm doing it. It's just it's
Yeah.
gonna take me some time, and now it's getting a little too hot to, like, green screen
Uh-huh.
in my house because, so many lights and everything.
Yeah.
Even with the air conditioning running, it still gets way too hot.
Hmm. Well, I look forward to that.
Yeah, that'll be give me, like, 2 months, 3 months.
So yeah, I normally end up talking about the creators, top videos. So your top three videos, no surprises here.
I know
Um,
they're big.
I've got a face massage at number three, which has 41,000 views. And as you titled it, a classic cranial nerve exam, which has 53,000 views, and an intense cranial nerve exam, which broke the six-figure barrier, and that has 153,000 views. The last one in particular, did you know it was going to like blow up in the way it did? Did you like no?
And it didn't. That's the thing. So that video, it did really, really well right out the gate. Like,
Hmm.
first video I ever had that, like, blew up to, like, I think I had 1,000 views within 2.5 hours or something
Okay,
like
that's
that,
good. Yeah.
which for my channel, that's, like, really, really
Uh huh.
quick. Um, Actually, here, I can just pull up my analytics for it, make it easy. I don't know why I don't just do that. Alright, let's pull up that one.
You can tell, can't you? I know it's funny because you say you say 1,000 in 2.5 hours, and I think I got excited once because I had 1,000 in like 12 hours. So it's just, you know,
Well, and that's the thing. So, like,
yeah.
you watch your numbers, like, grow over time. So, I think when my first 6 months of my channel, I don't think a video would clock at 3 days, 4 days,
Hmm.
5 days. Like, it took time.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, if I look at the analytics on this video, I mean, it's got 50,000 views in the last 28 days.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, because it was only
So
it was
it
only
is
a 2-month-old video, right?
yeah.
Hmm.
So, like, a good portion of these views didn't come from when it was published.
Yeah.
Like, this thing, it went up to, I think, about 15K, and then it, like, stalled for a little bit, and then, like, 2 weeks later, I just happened to look at my analytics, and it was, like, up to, like,
Crazy.
60, and I
Yeah.
was like, "Oh." And
Uh,
that's the thing is, like, I don't pay attention to my analytics.
yeah.
I don't,
No.
like, because when I first started my channel, I would pay too much attention to the numbers, and it doesn't matter. Like, I'm not a professional content creator. I like as much as, and I think a lot of people that do content creation really need to keep their perspective because I think anyone who does content creation, I think we all have that little bit of a dream of like, I really hope my channel blows up and I get like 100K. I could do content creation full time,
Hmm.
or I could do content creation in a way that supports me and maybe work a less stressful job.
Yeah.
So I think everyone has that kind of desire when it comes to content.
Yeah, I think so.
Tons of money online without having to work a classic style job.
Yeah.
Um, when I realized, and I think it's the kind of one of those things, it's gonna kick you in the butt. You're gonna get that realization, like maybe that's not you at that moment in time. Doesn't
Hmm.
mean it can't be you.
Yeah.
Just like maybe right now that's not you.
Hmm.
You have to have key perspective on everything. So I realized that like I was doing ASMR and I questioned the quality of my ASMR, like actually doing triggers and stuff like that for a long time. But like I've had a lot of really supportive viewers
Yeah.
and people and, other ASMRs too who are like, "No, your ASMR is good, like, keep
Mhm.
going, you just have to, just takes time." So, you get a little push to keep making the content, to keep going, but I was got to a point where it's like, I can't be obsessed about these numbers, can't look at them all day, every day.
You can't, no.
People are gonna watch it, people are not. That's just what it is.
Yeah.
Sometimes a video hits, sometimes it doesn't. And, like, I will say, like, for me, it's kinda tough sometimes when you put in the effort to a video and you really, really like it and it just doesn't
Feels so bad. Yeah.
do anything.
Yeah.
Like, that vampire video, it's a vampire doctor video. People like vampires, people like the doctor ASMR, but it didn't really do great. It didn't do horrible on my channel. Like, it definitely was, like, middle, but I was like, that video is funny. Like, in terms of, like, the actual content of the video, the
Mhm.
dialogue, it's funny, it's
Yeah.
good. It's it's sassy. I mean, it's snarky, but it's fun, you know? But then that comes down to titling. So, like, that cranial nerve exam, right? I labeled it as intense.
Mhm.
That's a search engine optimization word that
Yes.
triggers the YouTube algorithm, you know? And when I'm, like, looking for an ASMR video, the last thing I want something is intense. Like, I don't want, like, don't don't come at me. Like, I just want something nice and gentle and put me to sleep.
Yeah.
You know? But, people do like intense,
Fast and
aggressive
aggressive,
trigger,
yeah.
and like I am not one that likes the fast and aggressive like triggers, like,
No.
aggressively scratching on a mic. Oh no, thank you. Like for me, but that's the beauty of ASMR. It's all subjective, right?
Mhm.
You know,
For sure.
again, no hate against the trigger. But like for me, that's not ASMR. Like that's not gonna give me ASMR. That's gonna give me the heebie-jeebies. Like,
Mhm. Yeah.
you know. But yeah, it just really came down to like accepting the fact that like this is how things are performing and I can try to make my content better and I can learn YouTube basically in order to push my content forward. So
Yeah.
it's not as easy as just like making a video, titling it, putting it, crossing your fingers that like it's gonna blow up. Like you actually have to do a little work on your end to
Yeah.
make that happen.
Yeah.
But no one tells you that
No.
because there's no handbook to,
There's no
you
YouTube
know,
101.
YouTube's algorithm.
Yeah. No. So, like, you don't think there's anything special about that video that really done it for it, or
I think it was the
just gotta
search
be
engine
modest about it? Yeah.
terms, to be honest. I think it was the way it was titled. I think it was the way it did I think it was the way it did the description because if you take that video, yeah, let me pull that one up again. All right. So if you take the intense cranial nerve exam and you watch that side by side to my ASMR classic cranial nerve exam,
Mhm. Is there more intense themes in it, do you think, as well? Like,
it's the intent. There's nothing intense about that
oh,
video.
really?
The triggers are not intense, they're not, like, hyper aggressive, they're
Mhm.
not deep scratching. I just used it as a search term,
Yeah, because I've seen that before,
and
but
then
I've seen it where it's like sometimes it tells you like, oh, if people are clicking on it for this reason and you don't give them that reason, then uh,
call
then
it
it's
clickbait.
not going to do well. But I think in your case, it was doing well because you put it in, and then they seen it anyway, and they were probably just not focused on the intent, but like focused on what was in front of them, and it was obviously a good cranial nerve exam role play. So they probably probably just seen that past that.
Most likely, because I didn't think it was, like, a clickbait article,
Hmm.
personally. I didn't think it was, like, really clickbaity, but, again, I was messing with search terms and
Yeah,
stuff at the time
yeah.
because that's something going on outside. Just heard, like, a big old noise.
I
Um,
can't hear you
I
good.
mean, that's how their algorithm works. It's all based on the search engine term.
Mhm.
All based on, like, you have to put a YouTube search term in your title and a Google search term in your title.
Yeah.
You have to because Google owns YouTube.
Mhm.
So you have double search engine optimization just from your titling.
Uh-huh.
It's nuts.
Yeah.
Like,
There's
that shouldn't
so
be a
much to
thing.
learn.
You shouldn't have to know that,
No. Yeah.
you know? But hey, it is what it is. It's part of the game, I guess.
Yeah. No. I think you could talk for hours. Like, just talking about the
Oh yeah.
algorithm and stuff like that. But I think honestly, I think you're doing all the right things. I think you've obviously improved. You know more about the algorithm. Your audio, your visuals have improved. Like I think you're doing all the right things. It's just keep it at that pace and
Oh yeah. I mean, I don't. To be honest, I'd rather grow at a steady, moderate rate
uh-huh.
personally that I can manage. I could not imagine what would happen if I woke up tomorrow and I had like 50,000 subscribers on YouTube, right?
Mm.
Like, that'd be pressure beyond pressure beyond pressure, But if I can grow and,
I
keep
feel
putting out, like, because I think I put out a decent quality with my content. Like, I
for
actually
sure.
think it's pretty high quality.
Yeah, I do.
And, like, I know my triggers are good. Like, I know my actual, like, ASMR triggers are good.
Yeah.
But, like, I also always pull back my triggers to more classic ASMR style kind of stuff,
Mm-hmm.
you know? But I also try to keep, like, especially with my medical videos, I really, really, really try to keep an element of, like, because I think people really enjoy that. Like, they like to just drop into the video and, like,
Yeah. Immerse
that's why I
themselves.
work on
Yeah.
yeah, that's why I work on making sure, like, the set looks good and, like,
You do a great
but
job.
I put little Easter eggs in there too all the time.
I like that. I like that.
Like, I leave, like, one of my I think, like, I've left a Pikachu plush in the shot just off
Uh-huh.
in the corner. I've
Yeah.
left my Lego bonsai tree makes regular appearances in videos,
Yeah, I've seen that one. I've seen that one a couple of times. um,
it's just fun little stuff to leave in.
yeah, I quickly want to talk about Twitch. So I think you were like I want to say you're like 6 months into doing YouTube, and you started Twitch, right? What was the driver behind that? Did you always want to do Twitch as well?
Miss Caitlin,
Okay.
the ASMR kitten herself.
Uh-huh.
To be honest, if it wasn't for Caitlin, I would not have a channel. She's, like, the first ASMR artist I ever talked to. Loved her content for years. But yeah, she really helped, like, because I went to her and I was like, "Hey, I wanna do Twitch ASMR on Twitch. What do you think?" And she
Uh-huh.
really encouraged me to go for it, so I went for it, and yeah, Twitch is a whole other piece than YouTube.
Yeah.
That is,
What do you love so much about it? I know it's a quite an obvious question, but
I mean, I like Twitch just because I like the interaction, I like the
exactly.
back and
Mm.
with my viewers and stuff like that. Um, I mean, it's fun.
Yeah.
It's exhausting, but it's fun, and that's the thing. I don't think a lot of people understand how tiring, like, streaming is.
Yeah. I normally
You
only
gotta
stream for
turn
2 hours and then I'm like, I'm done.
Yeah, like, you gotta turn yourself on, like, you are the entertainer for a couple hours, like, you are what they're watching,
Mm.
and ASMR on Twitch can be very difficult sometimes because, like, if you're doing, like, a real focus, right? Like, if I'm sitting there with my 3DO doing, like, a head massage while I'm talking into this microphone, and I have another microphone there that I usually do for binaural,
Yeah.
on Twitch. When you're doing that and, like, it's no talking and I have, like, relaxing background music going and stuff, and nobody's interacting, you're like, "Okay, is my stream dead or is everyone asleep?" It's one of those things, right? You're like,
Mhm.
"I don't know what's going on at this point in
Yeah.
time." Like, is everyone sleeping or are they just not talking? And it's tough. I mean, ASMR on Twitch it's a tough field to navigate. There's been some stuff that a lot of people are aware of that has gone on in the category that has
Mhm.
caused issues
Yeah.
for some people,
Yeah.
you know? I mean, Twitch has always had that kind of thing. I love my Twitch community, I really do, they're great. I like being an ASMR artist on Twitch. I do like doing more traditional ASMR on Twitch, but what I found, the Pokemon content is what people really enjoy, They love watching pack openings. I think people really I mean, really, let's just take it what it is. People love to watch people gamble, and that's what Pokemon is. It's gambling. You don't know what you're getting inside of it. You're paying money for it, and you might pull something that's worth value.
Yeah.
It's gambling,
Mhm.
and people like to watch that. But there are a lot of people that like to watch Pokemon cards, talk about the cards, talk about the artwork, and they like to do it without the hype. They don't want a screaming Logan Paul like jumping out of your chair over kind of thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sitting here. There's probably, I mean, there's just a mess of trading cards
Can
in
imagine.
this whole vicinity right now because I didn't clean stream last night. Yeah, I have to sort like this entire stack of magic cards from the new Dungeon and Dragon set
Oh,
that
nice. I was
we
just about to
pulled
ask that
last
because
night.
I'm a massive D&D fan, but I've never played
Oh, you
Magic.
are?
I've never
I
played
mean,
Magic. What
look
do
at
you?
the Loft Spider we pulled last night.
Oh, nice.
Planeswalker card. I mean, I pulled a Tiamat,
Oh, Tiamat
pulled an old Nobblon.
classic.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
I mean, pulled so much cool stuff,
I
but
feel
like
like
I have this all.
I feel like you'd enjoy playing D&D. Have you never played it before?
Ew. I do. I love D&D.
Oh,
It's
you
so
do?
much fun.
Okay,
I
good.
love playing D&D. I just don't have time to play D&D.
Yeah.
That's the thing, is like my personal time is like non-existent. I basically carve out like one night a week video games with my friends because me and this group of guys have been playing games together 2014
Yeah.
because we're all Destiny nerds. We
Oh,
play
okay.
Destiny.
You Destiny.
So,
Nice.
yeah, I'm a trash goblin hunter. It's fine. Everyone knows hunters are the best. It is what it is. But I going back to the Twitch thing, Twitch was another place like kind of hard to find your thing, what brings people in. Being a guy in ASMR on Twitch is tough because
Mhm.
you deal with a lot of trolls and
Yeah.
crap like that. So that's always a good time.
Yeah.
I'm fortunate. I don't really actually deal with a lot of trolling, to be honest.
Uh-huh.
I don't on my YouTube channel or my Twitch. I mean, I get the trolls on obviously more, but it's easy to ignore them. I have a ban button.
Yeah, that's it. It's just
Like, and I understand people say some upsetting things online. I get it. But man, that ban button comes in super handy.
yeah. And 9 times out of 10, you're probably distracted and your moderator's already banned them for you, so it's like
Yeah, and I mean, again, I don't get bothered by stuff like that. Like, it is very difficult to upset me by like insulting me or trying to troll me. Like, I'm not gonna get rattled. It doesn't do anything to me.
Mhm.
And I mean, I look at these people, especially on Twitch. I mean, these people that I've had, they bombed my channel with like racial slurs and like hate speech. So like my mods were going like we're all like trying to cover this, and then they snuck into my Discord and they bombed like horrible things in my Discord, like stuff I'm
Uh-huh.
not gonna repeat, but like horrific images all over my Discord. Like
Shit.
that was probably the one thing that made me almost quit streaming.
Yeah.
It was like I don't even
That
put up with that, but
that must have
we
been
dealt with
tough.
it.
Yeah.
We dealt with it. I haven't dealt with it since, so I mean, it's been better. But, like, I feel bad, a lot of people do get trolled, and a lot of people do get a lot of that, and I also do not really experience that stuff. But I also check all my comments on YouTube because if I see a hate my view, that's not what my channel's about. My channel's about relaxing, vibing, chilling, and just having a good time,
Yeah.
and opening a ton of Pokemon cards.
What's not to love about that? have you have you
Exactly.
have you always been like a big Pokemon fan? What was your first Pokemon experience? Were you like into the video games as well?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, first Pokemon experience, I mean, I got Pokemon Red and Blue,
Red and blue.
you
Well,
know?
there you go.
Back in the day
Yeah.
on my Game Boy. I have played every single I mean, minus like the dungeon and puzzle, some of the dungeon and puzzle games, but
Uh-huh.
like all the
The main
main series
series.
Pokemon games, I played every single one.
Yeah. What's your favorite? What did you know?
Ooh, I love silver and gold.
Okay. Yeah.
And I know they don't get a lot of love, but I do love silver and gold,
No,
like a lot.
I was too young to play Silver and Gold. My first games were Ruby and Sapphire, but I've played Heart of Gold and Soul Silver, and I would say they're my second favorite behind Ruby and Sapphire.
And they're great.
Uh huh.
Ruby is great too. I
Hmm.
love Ruby. I will say my two least favorite though was the black and white era.
I agree. And
Oh,
some
garbage.
people love Black Two and White Two. Like they talk about it
Oh,
religiously, like it's the best thing on earth. But I agree. I think the Pokemon designs in that game was so bad.
terrible. Terrible. The
Hmm.
story, everything about that game was bad.
I
The battle tower was bad.
I liked
Like,
N. I did like N.
yeah. I mean, even XY though, I was a little iffy on XY.
Hmm.
I liked it better than the black white era, but like XY was still I was like, eh. And then they brought the Alolan stuff in, and I was just
Yeah, no. Yeah. I think they should have
yo,
kept on with the Mega Evolution, but they weren't going
oh,
to do that because
absolutely.
they wanted to keep it fresh, like we
Like,
talked
and
about.
I'm not
Yeah. No, I feel like the
totally
out of the mechanics that they brought in, Mega Evolution's definitely been the coolest, and they should do more of it.
there. Yeah, see, I don't do I never got into, like, competitive Pokemon, like,
Hmm.
battling other people. I've
Yeah.
always been more into the RPG aspects of it, collecting and stuff like that.
Uh huh.
So when I look at mechanics, I look at mechanics as mechanics versus the game versus mechanics versus other
Uh
players.
huh. Yeah.
But, like, the Gigantamaxing, the Mega Evolutions, like, they're cool and all, but I'm like, "You don't need to Dragon Ball everything. Not everything has to get a power up." Like, realistically, your character is a child that can run around with a 12.5-pound electric mouse that essentially is Thor. I
True.
don't need think you need to grow him to, like, 30 feet. Because, I mean, it's Pokemon, so they don't care about physics or anything. Because 'cause
No.
I'm sorry, you have, like, a Mega Evolution Charizard and get you at it. I don't know, what are you gonna have, a freaking flame lightning tornado rip it's like, they just don't care. It's
No.
irresponsible. Game Freak, get on it.
Yeah. I'm looking
No, I
forward to
mean, it's
the
fun, though.
I'm looking forward to the Sinnoh remakes, and I'm looking forward
Mhm.
to the open world
Diamond
game.
and Pearl.
Yeah, I hope I was it what's it called? Is it Pokemon what's the open world called? The new one
Oh,
that's coming out.
Arceus, Legend Arceus.
Yes, Legend of
Yeah,
Arceus, yeah.
that I'm looking forward to.
I hope they need to do a good job. Um
I like Sword and Shield, though.
did
Like,
you?
and that's gonna get me flamed, but,
Yeah.
like, I like Sword and Shield. They actually build a good game. The story is iffy, but the design is good, the mechanics are good, the gameplay is really good, the region is cool. I don't know why everyone complains about the region, like, I'm not really big on the city stuff,
Well,
but, like, you go into the wild areas, it's great,
it's based on the UK, so like shout out UK.
you know? Oh, yeah, it is based on the
Yeah,
UK.
it's just the UK like flipped 180 degrees basically.
Oh, shit.
Mhm.
Huh, I
Yeah.
kinda forgot about that, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, no, it's
I mean,
good.
that's the thing is, like, ever since I've started content creation, it's like my brain has, like, been pushing out, like, some obscure, like, video game knowledge and stuff because it's like there's only so much space left in there for things.
Yeah, I think like the first four regions were all like Japanese based. Gen 5 was America, Gen 6 was France, Gen 7 was obviously Hawaii, and yeah, and Gen 8 was the UK.
Yeah. Hmm.
Um, but yeah, I've always been a big mainly it's been mainly video games for me. I was more into Yu-Gi-Oh growing up in terms of card games. I just collected them as a
Played
kid.
Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah, and
That was my thing. I played Yu-Gi-Oh! But I collected Pokemon.
I was the other way around.
And then I moved into Magic,
Yeah.
but then I got out of Magic.
I tried to play competitive Yu-Gi-Oh for a while, and it's so expensive to keep up.
Oh, yeah.
Because half of the
You could drop
battle is
thousands.
buying the new cards. Yeah, you've got to buy the new cards, otherwise, it's just hard to keep up. I ended up qualifying for European Championships through like a regional qualifier.
That's awesome.
My deck profile's actually on the internet, but it would give away my full name, so it kind of sucks. But it's out there, and I played something really degenerate and like completely off meta as well.
No. Would you play, like, Pot of Greeds? Like, stacking Pot of Greeds?
It was like basically,
Or Bam
basically in like Yu-Gi-Oh, most decks are just really powerful going first, and I was like,
Yeah.
okay, like I don't want to rely on a coin toss, so I'm just gonna set up to go second. I'm gonna make my side deck. Um, with cards that help me go first if they actually kind of realize that I'm a go second deck. So I've got that if I need to. And I just played like loads of board wipes. There's these things called kaiju's, and you can just kind of like
Yeah.
sacrifice their monster and some of the kaiju, and it gets rid of like it gets past all like the mechanics that you can get around. So I
Oh
just
my
it just
god.
just really degenerate stuff like that. And I think I
That
finished
is
like sixth.
degenerate.
I think I finished sixth, and you needed top eight to qualify for European Championships, so I did it.
It's like the Tiamat, like, this card I pulled last night.
Uh-huh.
This is Tiamat.
Yeah,
This is a
the big red
degen
dragon.
card.
Yeah.
This is a degen card. The card shouldn't exist. It's gross. Like, and I was reading some of these last night after stream, and I'm like, these are so broken.
Mhm.
There's some cards in there that are just ridiculously broken. There's a
Yeah.
minion card that you can literally sacrifice and summon a dragon and kill in 2 turns.
Yeah.
Come on. And that's why I stopped playing Magic.
Yeah, it's just a money spinner. They're always gonna release more powerful cards and
Well, gambling.
yeah.
That I mean, it's gambling for children. They
Mhm.
went after the loot boxes, and I said this to my wife the other day because it kinda just popped into my head. I was like, "Holy crap," they went after loot boxes in a video game. Like, okay, don't you guys like don't the game companies have to do exact odds stuff for I thought you guys had, like, a ruling on the loot boxes in video games.
Mhm.
Like, the paid ones
Yeah.
where you can get, like, a random item. I think that's exactly what a freaking
It's just
that's what that is. It's a loot box
like a
for children.
like a fruit machine, isn't it? It's like
It's gambling.
yeah.
It's
Uh
just gambling with shiny cardboard.
I guess the last thing, well, one of the last things is I normally ask, like, who are you outside of ASMR? Obviously, you've got your work, you got your family, not much time for anything else. I think we've covered. You do have your game nights with your boys. What are you doing? Do you still read a lot, like audiobooks, stuff like that?
Yeah, constantly.
Hmm.
So, like, instead of traditional reading, because obviously that's time consuming and that takes up a lot of my physical attention, hands, eyes, everything.
Hmm.
I'm an Audible junkie.
Yeah.
I just listen to audiobooks now all the time, like
Hmm.
all day, every day. Like while I'm working, audiobook. My headphones are always in my head. That's my favorite thing.
I
Like
love
I
it.
love audiobooks.
Yeah.
Love 'em. We go hiking, I have 2 dogs, so we take the dogs hiking and stuff like that, but I mean, like, with COVID and everything, like, life kinda got weird for a
Different.
while,
Hmm.
and, we used to do a lot of outside of the activities, so I used to do a lot of, like, Spartan races, mudders, savage, things like that,
Yeah.
every summer, but now I look at that, I'm like, "I'm not going back to doing that because probably gonna get sick."
Hmm.
So I play my games, with my friends and just hang out with my wife. I mean, that's what you do basically. We like to go kayaking. Anything we can do basically
Yeah.
when we have time.
Yeah.
That's the thing though, you get into your 30s and life gets busy and like, you know, there's weekends like we barely even see each other because we both have other stuff going on.
You're just adulting hard.
Yeah,
You
pretty much.
the last thing is I normally ask creators, for anyone watching this, maybe thinking about starting a channel or are in the process of starting a channel. Do you have any? Yeah, I guess what's your main tip that you would give to those people?
Do your research. Do your research and plan. Have at least an idea of what you want to accomplish
Hmm.
going in. And I'm not saying set a big goal. I just mean like make sure you have some nice banner art for your channel. Make sure you have a good profile picture, a decent description. Don't just do what I did and film one YouTube video, put it in the film like 4 or 5 before you even make your channel
Hmm.
public.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't mean put them all up at the same time, but make sure you have put up so you can just be consistent right out the bat.
Yeah.
But do your research,
That's a
figure out
great
what you
tip.
want,
Uh huh.
and have fun with it. That's the thing. If you're not having fun, it's not worth doing.
True. That's probably one of the best pieces of advice I've got so far. So well done. Honestly, I think that's sound advice.
Learn from my mistakes.
Yeah, the last thing, little future section, small section, basically. Um, and yeah, kind of like is the things you definitely want to do more of in the space. Different types of videos that you haven't done yet, or is it kind of just more the same to an
No,
extent?
I definitely have some more creative stuff I want to do. I actually am a big fan of horror ASMR,
Okay.
like the fear stuff
Uh
that
huh.
brings like that shiver,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
tingle. Like I have a couple horror based, and they're not like bloody, freaky horror or anything like that. It's more like mental, psychological,
Okay.
like the idea of someone walking behind you kind of thing.
I like that.
I got a couple of those that are lined up that I'm gonna do for like Halloween.
Halloween. Yeah.
Yeah, a couple more, like, fantasy role plays, like, I have, like, my Sleep Wizard video, like, I'm definitely that character back. But, like, I don't know if you've watched that one, but,
I
like, that's
haven't
actually
seen
one
that
of my
one.
favorite videos because everything about that video is practical. It's all practical effects. It's so cool, though. So I definitely have more in that space, but, yeah, I mean, in the meantime, there's gonna be more, but, yeah, fantasy. There's definitely some more fantasy. I mean, Amy K, like, I love Amy's content,
Yeah.
like, she's always been an inspiration for me. Like, I love what she does with all her different fantasy characters and, like, this world she's built, and I really
Yeah.
wanna build something like that for myself.
She has like the tiefling, doesn't she? That she brings back for.
Right.
Uh huh. You guys should. Have you collabed with Amy before?
I have,
Hmm.
well, once, yeah, a while back on a medical video,
Oh,
that was a while ago.
you need to do a
Yeah, I
fantasy
actually
collab.
have been talking with Amy about a collab. I
Yeah.
have an idea. I just gotta bring it to her.
Oh, that's gonna be awesome. I guess touching more on that, outside of Amy, is there more people that you would like to collab with? Who would be your
Oh, yeah.
dream collabs? Like,
Oh, I would love to do, like, a collab with, like, Bailey and James Matthew and Alice.
okay,
Like, that I think that'd be fun.
mm-hmm.
Um, Blue Wispy. I would die to do a Pokemon box, like a Pokemon card opening with Blue Wispy because I don't know if you know Blue
I
Wispy.
haven't heard. No,
So Blue Whisper is ASMR, amazing content, like oof, so good, and she does the most relaxing Pokemon card openings ever.
nice.
I'd love to do one with her.
Well, while you
You
talk,
know,
yeah, while you talk about Pokemon, I guess, is there any non ASMR Pokemon creators that you watch? Because I follow a guy called Shady Penguin. I don't know if you know who he is.
I do know Shady Penguin. I
Uh
do
huh.
follow him.
He's the guy. I think I've watched Shady since like 2014.
Leonhardt,
Yeah.
probably.
Mm-hmm.
I actually stay away from a lot of Pokemon content online.
Mm-hmm.
It's again, it's nothing against the people, but like the whole conversation just gets so flame war-y and everyone's too hype.
Yeah.
Like they forget it's a game for children and like it's okay to be a collector. Like they lose perspective and it just becomes about greed, not the actual product. And like I bought this card for my personal collection and not because like I realized like I could go sell this for 75, but that's not what my thought process.
Yeah.
Oh, I really wanted this Dragonite for my personal
You just
collection
like
because I
them.
have Dragonite,
Uh huh. I love
you
it.
know?
No. Yeah.
So I don't really like interject myself into the online Pokemon much.
That's
I
fair.
just I don't see it as a place where I would fit well personally.
Yeah.
I like my Pokemon, I make my content, I do my thing, you know?
Yeah.
I try to attract the kind of, people that I wanna hang out with, you know? Just chill, just vibe,
Mm-hmm.
just have a good time.
Yeah. No, I respect that. Um, the next thing is like any future projects in the works. I know you've touched on some of them with the role plays that you've got in mind over Halloween and stuff like that. And you're doing your streaming, which is sometimes the people I get on don't stream, so it's kind of like, oh, I talk to them about that.
Yeah,
And then another thing that a lot of people do is Patreon and stuff like that. I'm guessing that you are
no Patreon.
fully saturated on all that. There's just no time for it.
Yeah, I don't have Patreon, I don't do, like, custom videos or custom content.
No.
Um, I have a lot of plans, but I'm basically working about a week, I have to be able to balance my own life.
Yeah.
So, I kinda just take it 1 week at a time, to be honest.
Yeah. Maybe see some casual merch in the future.
That is definitely a
Uh
possibility.
huh.
That is definitely a possibility. There might
Getting
be some casual merch.
getting some links.
Yeah, I am talking with someone about doing a new and, there might be a beanie coming
Okay.
because I like to wear beanies in the winter
Yeah.
because 'cause I'm bald, so
It makes sense. I like that.
in the wintertime, that is my look. Around, November, you'll see a so,
Beanie Mike.
yep,
We're
pretty
here for
much.
it. The last thing is ultimate goals of the channel. Kind of it's a big one. It's thinking about way down the
Full-time
line,
content creation, right?
full
Isn't that the
time.
goal? Isn't
full
that the
time.
goal for everyone? Full-time content
Yeah.
creation?
Well, I think I had one person say they would never do it.
I
I,
would do it for a year, at least,
yeah.
to see if it worked.
Hmm.
But, to be honest, I just wanna keep making videos. I really just wanna keep putting content out there that people enjoy.
Yeah.
I really like the fact that people genuinely enjoy my you
Hmm.
know? So, I mean, that's really my goal, is just to make something people like and that helps people. And, like, if I feel like I can give back a little bit, that's really enough for me.
That's it. Yeah.
I'm not doing it for the financial benefits. I'm doing it I
No,
really like the channel, so I had a creative outlet, and I just like making it. So,
I completely
I'll do
agree.
it until it's no more fun.
Yeah, it's the same with me. It's kind of like, I lent on ASMR in bad times, and it's kind of like, I want to be there for other people now. And I think
Yeah.
that's fulfilling for me.
Yeah, exactly. You know? Give back, and I'll do it until it's not fun anymore, and then I'll move on to something
Yeah,
else.
I just love being part of the community. And even if I
Oh,
walked
yeah.
out of it today, I would still look back on it with great memories. Met some awesome people. Helped like creators and viewers. You know what I mean? I love that.
Oh, yeah, there's amazing people in the ASMR community, honestly.
Shout out Giraffe as well that came from your stream
Oh, I
to
love
my
Giraffe.
he's the man.
Giraffe has been one of my longest time supporters, to be honest. So, you know,
Yeah.
love Giraffe.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that's where we're gonna end today. I will take this opportunity to thank you, Mike, for coming on and taking the time out of your day.
Thank you for having me, Sammy. I really appreciate
I
it,
do really
honestly.
appreciate
Like,
it.
I love your podcast. It's great.
Yeah, it's a really big passion project of mine. I like talking to people and getting to know more of the person behind the camera, because I think you can do your Q&As. They're just a bit one dimensional, I think. So it's nice to. You've never done one. Well, this is good. This is good. You. Yeah,
Never done one.
the audience will appreciate this then. So that's good.
Yeah.
um, yeah, if you're not familiar with Mike, his links to his YouTube, Twitch, and social medias will be in the video description and the pinned comment. So make sure you check them out. This podcast is also available in audio only form. So the YouTube video goes live on the Wednesday, and the audio versions will go live the following Tuesday. So if you like them, and you like to listen to your podcasts on the go where you can't watch a video, they are perfect for you, and you'll find them on all the big podcasting platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts. And you'll find the links to those in the video description as well. Um, yeah, I think that's it. Thank you again. Thank you again, Mike,
Thank you.
for checking out. Oh, I will say, I do film these and upload them every single week with a different creator. So if you did enjoy this, and you want more, yeah, please leave a like, comment down below what you thought. If you have any questions for Mike, drop them down. I can't guarantee that he'll answer, but I say that anyway. Subscribe if you're not subscribed already, and click that bell icon so you don't miss out on any future podcast episodes and normal ASMR videos, because I do upload those as well. But this has been the Wiretap Whisper Podcast. Mike's been an amazing guest, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.